All right, let's dive into the first utility, which is always on top right here. Now this is actually my favorite utility among all the other utilities. So this actually allows you to pin windows to the top of all other windows on your machine. Now let me demonstrate what that means. So let's say I have Notepad open with some reference text or anything, or maybe I just want to take some notes. Now when you have this opened and then you try, like when you're focused, it's on top. Okay, it's, you can see the Notepad is currently on top of my other window, which is the PowerToys utility window. Okay, but then when I click outside of it, you can see it goes vanishing. So it's currently behind the PowerToys. You can see that. So it's not very convenient if you have to, like, maybe you pick a note here. Let's say I want to type top, I want to come back here, scroll down, and then go back, and doing this, having to click, come back, and all that. It's very, very inconvenient, doesn't encourage productivity in my case. So this is where always on top comes in play. You just simply do the activation key, which is Windows Control and T. So I'm just gonna do the same combination, Windows Control and T, and boom, it's now pinned to the top. You can see the border around it and the sound. It indicates that you have pinned a window. Now you can see when I click outside of it, it remains on top. I can go anywhere I want and it still remains on top. Even when you open a browser window, you can see anything, any software, it's going to remain on top of it no matter where you go. Okay, you can see I have it on top, so I can just search for anything here on Google and I'll still have this on top. Very nifty one. I really love this feature in PowerToys, and I'm sure you're going to love it too. Now let's look at the other option here. So currently I have it pinned. I'm going to leave that there because we want to make reference while we make some changes here. Okay, so the next option that we have here, let's say we have the activation shortcut, which I already demonstrated. You can actually change that to anything you want. You simply have to click inside of it and then follow the instructions. It says your shortcuts must start with the Windows key, Control, Alt, or the Shift keys. So let's say I want to change this to Control, Alt, and then T. You just, when doing it, you keep your fingers on the keys until the last one so that it registers it. Else if you press, you take your fingers off, you press another one, it's not going to work. So in this case, I have my fingers on the Control key, on the Alt key, and the third one pressing the T, and now I can register this, save it, and it will be my new shortcut to trigger the always on top. But in my case, I prefer the default one, so I'm going to leave it that like that, because the T there, T as in top, so I like it. And then there is the do not activate when game mode is on. When you are playing certain games, it's going to trigger the game mode setting that comes with all Windows 10s and 11s. Now some games might have this key combination for a certain function in those games. So when you are playing such games and then you press this key combination, it's gonna trigger this instead of doing what the game is supposed to do by pressing that same combination of keys. So it's important you have this option turned on, so that next time you are playing that game and you press any of these key combinations or the one that you set for yourself, it's not gonna interfere with your gameplay and all that. So leaving this on is your best bet. Now next option here is appearance and behavior. So this one says show a border around the pinned window. Now the border is that bluish thing around this pinned window. Let's say if I pin the always on top window itself, you're going to see the same bluish thing around it. Now maybe it's not too obvious, so let me just increase that size in pixels. Currently it's 2 pixels, so I'm going to increase it, and you can see as I go a notch higher, you can see the border increases in size. So well, this is too big for me, so I prefer the 2. But let's look at you can even change the colors. Let's say you can have a custom color for yourself. You can input the hex code or play with the RGB values. You can have any color that you want, like any color for that matter. But I will go with the Windows default. The Windows default picks your accent color, so Currently my accent color is this bluish color, so it's picking that one and it's working for me, and I like it that way. So if I change my default Windows color or accent color to maybe red, then automatically this is going to adapt to that accent color that I picked. So that's okay. So you can also change it to match anything that you pretty much want. And then we have the rounded corners here. You can see with the rounded corners turned off, you can see Windows 11 by default has rounded corners for every window that you open. So having the rounded corners turned off will make it look a bit weird in my case. Like, at least from my perspective, it's weird. So I think it should be turned on. When you turn it on, you can see the always on top border snaps to match the rounded corners of your windows, which is pretty cool. And then we have the play a sound. So if you noticed, when I press the combination, you hear a sound which notifies you that, hey, you just pinned the window. If it was by mistake, you can revert that, kind of, which is cool. And then the last option here, which allows you to restrict yourself from ending up pinning certain apps. So let's say I have Notepad here. Let me remove the pin first, and I don't want to pin Notepad in any case, so I'm just gonna put notepad.exe. So next time I run the same combination, you can see I did Control Windows T. It's not pinning it because I've excluded Notepad's execution file name here, which is preventing it from being launched. Now, how do you know the execution name for a software? 90% of the softwares out there will use the software's name plus .exe. That's the execution file, executable file name. Now let's see how you can locate that for any app that you've installed, in case using that method doesn't work for you. So let me delete that first. You just have to, let's say, let me open File Explorer. I'll go to my Windows C and then Program Files. It depends on the architecture of the file that I installed. So let me go to the Program Files here, and then in my case, let's say I want to disable Google Chrome. Okay, so I'm just going to open Chrome, go to Application, and you can see it's chrome.exe. So you can even click on that, copy that name. That's what you're looking for. Okay, you just paste that over there. So the next time you launch Chrome and you try to run this shortcut on it, it's not going to pin Chrome to the top. You can do the same for any other software, like any other software. So let's say I have ShareX. I have a video coming out for ShareX too. It's a very powerful utility software I also use every day. You can see it right here running in the background. I have a video coming up, so watch out for that one. Then we have ShareX also. You can see this is the executable file name. Sorry, having problem with that pronunciation. So you can copy this as well and then just paste it on the next line. So the next time you launch ShareX and you want to you mistakenly press the combination Control Windows and T, it's not going to pin it on top. So I think that's pretty much it for this nifty one. Very useful. Okay, just that's it. I have it pinned. I can go anywhere I want, launch anything, and boom, it remains where it is. So that's it.